The unexpected discovery Captain Zara 9 stood at the observation deck of the Calfarian research vessel Stellar Sage, her 4 arms gracefully moving across the holographic controls. The ship glided silently through the outer rim of the Andromeda sector, where few had ventured before. Her blue-tinted skin reflected the soft glow of the star charts, and her large, dark eyes focused intently on the readings before her. The Calfarians were known throughout the galaxy as peaceful explorers. Their species had evolved from aquatic creatures on a world of endless oceans, developing a natural curiosity about the universe beyond their home. They had been exploring space for over 3 centuries, cataloging new worlds and making contact with dozens of species. Violence was foreign to their nature, and they approached every new discovery with scientific wonder rather than suspicion. "Captain, we have detected an anomaly," called out Science Officer Keth 7 from his station. The young Calfarian's voice carried excitement mixed with concern. His tentacle-like fingers danced over the sensor controls, pulling up data streams that flooded. The main display Zara 9 moved closer to examine the readings. What she saw made her pause. The sensors showed a massive object drifting in space, much larger than any ship in the Calfarian fleet. Its hull appeared to be made of an unknown metal alloy, scarred and battered as if it had survived countless battles with the void itself. "Distance and size?" she asked, her voice carrying the calm authority that had made her one of the most respected captains in the exploration fleet. "Approximately 50,000 kilometers away, Captain. The vessel measures nearly 2 kilometers. In length, it appears to be drifting without power, but our long-range sensors detect faint energy signatures from within." Keth 7's excitement was barely contained as he continued his analysis. Navigation. Officer Vel 3 looked up from her station, her expression troubled. "Captain, the ship's design is unlike anything in our databases. The hull configuration suggests it was built for durability rather than speed or efficiency. There are what appear to be impact craters along its surface, and sections that look like they have been repaired multiple times." Zara 9 studied the image on the main screen. The vessel was indeed massive, with a utilitarian design that spoke of practical engineering rather than aesthetic beauty. Its hull was a dark gray color, marked with strange symbols she had never seen before. What caught her attention most were the numerous modifications visible along its exterior, additional structures that seemed to have been added after the original construction. "Are there life signs aboard?" she asked. Chief Medical Officer Healer Nix 12 consulted her biosensors, her 6 arms working in perfect coordination. "Yes, Captain. I'm detecting thousands of life forms, but the readings are strange. The biological signatures are unlike any species in our records. They appear to be carbon-based, but their physiology is remarkably diverse compared to what we would expect from a single species." Communications Officer Zeph 5 attempted to establish contact. "I'm broadcasting on all known frequencies, Captain. Universal greeting protocols, mathematical sequences, even musical patterns. There's no response from the vessel." Zara 9 made a decision that would change the course of both their missions. Maintain safe distance and begin detailed scans. "I want to know everything about this ship before we proceed. If there are survivors aboard, they may need our assistance." The Stellar Sage's advanced sensors began their work, sending invisible streams of energy toward the mysterious vessel. As the data flowed back, the Calfarian crew found themselves faced with readings that challenged everything they thought they knew about spacecraft engineering. "Captain," Keth 7 called out, his voice filled with amazement, "the ship's internal structure is extraordinary. It appears to have been designed as a cargo vessel originally, but it has been extensively modified. There are sections that look like they were built for completely different purposes." The main display showed a cross-section view of the alien ship. Zara 9 could see that the vessel was divided into numerous compartments, each serving a different function. What struck her most was the evidence of ongoing work. The thermal signatures showed beings moving throughout the ship, working on various systems, despite the apparent lack of main power. "Look at these energy readings," Vel 3 pointed to her. "Display. They're not running on a central power grid like we do. Instead, they have dozens of smaller power sources distributed throughout the ship. Even with main power down, they're maintaining life support and essential systems." Healer Nix 12 discovered something that made her gasp. "Captain, I'm detecting medical equipment signatures. Large quantities of it. This ship has been converted into some kind of medical facility." The implications hit Zara 9 immediately. They're not warriors or traders. They're healers. As the scans continued, more details emerged. The ship's cargo holds had been converted into what appeared to be medical bays. The thermal imaging showed hundreds of beings lying in organized rows, with others moving between them in patterns that suggested medical care was being provided. "Captain," Keth 7's voice was filled with wonder. "These beings appear to be treating. They're sick and injured with equipment that is both primitive and ingenious. They're using techniques I've never seen before, combining different technologies in ways that shouldn't work, but somehow do." The crew of the Stellar Sage found themselves witnessing something unprecedented. The beings aboard the alien ship were not just surviving in space. They were thriving despite conditions that would have defeated most species. Their ship showed evidence of countless repairs, all done with whatever materials were available. They had turned a cargo hauler into a mobile medical facility, powered by ingenuity and determination. "Captain," Zeph 5 reported, "I'm picking up internal communications from the ship. The translation matrix is working on it, but it's a complex language system. What I can understand suggests they're coordinating medical procedures and resource allocation." Zara 9 watched as the alien ship slowly rotated in space, its damaged hull reflecting the light of distant stars. She could see that entire sections had been rebuilt, using materials that didn't match the original construction. It was clear that this vessel had been through tremendous hardships, yet it continued to function. "Ma'am," Vel 3 said quietly, "I'm detecting what appears to be a distress beacon. It's very weak, but it's definitely there. These beings are asking for help." The Caltharian captain felt a deep sense of respect for the unknown species. Whatever they were, they had shown remarkable resilience and determination. Their ship might be damaged, but they had not given up. They continued to care for their people, to maintain their vessel, and to push forward despite impossible odds. "Healer Nix 12, she called. "What would you estimate their medical needs to be?" The medical officer studied her readings carefully. "Captain, if what I'm seeing is correct, they have thousands of injured or sick individuals aboard that ship. Their medical teams are working around the clock, but they're operating with limited resources. They need supplies, equipment, and probably medical expertise." Zara 9 made a decision that went against standard exploration protocols. "Prepare a PAW, medical supply probe. Include our most advanced healing technologies and basic life support equipment. We're going to help them." "Captain," Keth 7 said hesitantly, "regulations require us to report any contact with unknown species before taking action." "Sometimes, Keth 7, compassion must come before protocol," Zara 9 replied. "These beings are suffering, and we have the means to help. We can file our reports later." As the Stellar Sage prepared to make contact, the crew couldn't shake the feeling that they were about to encounter something extraordinary. The alien ship continued its slow rotation, its scarred hull telling a story of survival against overwhelming odds. Whatever species had built and modified this vessel, they had shown a level of determination and ingenuity that impressed even the experienced Caltharian explorers. The scanners revealed one final detail that made the entire crew pause in amazement. Despite everything they had endured, despite the damage to their ship and the obvious hardships they faced, the beings aboard the alien vessel were still taking care of each other. The medical activity never stopped, the repairs continued, and the ship pressed forward through the void. "Captain," Healer Nix 12 said softly, "I believe we are about to meet a species that embodies everything we admire about life in the universe. Their determination to survive and care for others is remarkable." Zara 9 nodded, her eyes fixed on the alien ship. "Then let's make sure our first contact with them is one of friendship and assistance. Prepare the medical probe and open a channel. On all frequencies. It's time to introduce ourselves to what may be the most resilient species we've ever encountered." The stage was set for a meeting that would change both species forever. The Caltharians, with their peaceful nature and advanced technology, were about to encounter humans, a species that had turned survival into an art form and compassion into a way of life. The Iron Phoenix drifted in space, its human crew unaware that help was about to arrive from the most unexpected source. Asterisk. The revelation that changed everything the medical supply probe launched from the Stellar Sage moved slowly toward the massive alien vessel. Captain Zara 9 watched the probe's progress on her display, her forearms tense with anticipation. The probe carried the most advanced Caltharian medical technology, supplies that could save hundreds of lives if the aliens understood how to use them. "Captain, we're receiving a response from the alien ship," Communications Officer HFY announced. His voice carried excitement and nervousness in equal measure. "The translation matrix is working, but their language is complex. They're asking about our intentions." Zara 9 moved to the communication station. "Tell them we come in peace and wish to offer medical assistance. Make it clear we have no hostile intentions." As the message was transmitted, the crew of the Stellar Sage watched their sensors carefully. The alien ship showed increased activity, with more beings moving throughout its corridors. The thermal signatures suggested they were preparing for something, but whether it was defense or welcome remained unclear. "Captain," Science Officer Keth 7 called out, "I'm getting more detailed readings on the ship's modifications. What I'm seeing is extraordinary. They've converted cargo bays into medical facilities, but not just simple ones. These are sophisticated treatment centers with equipment I don't recognize." The main display showed internal scans of the alien vessel. Zara 9 could see that entire sections had been gutted and rebuilt for medical purposes. The beings aboard had created something that was part hospital, part refugee center, and part manufacturing facility. They were making their own medical supplies, using whatever materials they could find. "Ma'am," Healer Nix 12 reported, "I'm detecting medical procedures being performed right now. The biosignatures suggest they're treating everything from radiation, poisoning to malnutrition to serious injuries. Their medical teams are working with incredible efficiency." Suddenly, the alien ship's communication system crackled to life. A voice, translated by the Caltharian systems, spoke with clear authority despite the obvious exhaustion behind it. "Unknown vessel, this is Commander Marcus Chun of the evacuation ship Iron Phoenix. We appreciate your offer of assistance, but we must warn you, we have been exposed to a deadly plague. Approach at your own risk." The Caltharian crew exchanged glances. A plague ship. That explained the medical activity and the desperate modifications to the vessel. Captain Zara 9 made her decision quickly. "Commander Chun, this is Captain Zara 9 of the Caltharian research vessel Stellar Sage. We have advanced medical technology and are willing to help. Please explain your situation." There was a pause before the human commander responded. "Captain, we evacuated 37,000 people from Colony 7 when the plague hit. We've been traveling for 8 months, trying to reach a medical facility. Our ship wasn't designed for this, but we've made it work. We've lost too many already, but we're not giving up. The number hit the Caltharian crew like a physical blow. 37,000 refugees on a ship that was never meant to carry them. The scale of the human achievement became clear. They had taken a cargo vessel and transformed it into a mobile city, complete with hospitals, laboratories, and life support systems for tens of thousands of people. Keth 7, Zara 9 said quietly. Show me the ship's full capacity. The young science officer's findings were remarkable. Captain, the original design specifications show this ship was meant to carry manufactured goods, not people. They've somehow created living space for 37,000 individuals while maintaining medical facilities for the sick. The engineering is incredible. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the Iron Phoenix's chief medical officer, joined the communication. Her voice carried the weight of months of desperate work. Captain Zara 9, we've been fighting this plague for over a year. It's unlike anything we've encountered. We've managed to slow its spread and save most of our people, but we need more advanced equipment to find a cure. Doctor, Healer Nix 12 interjected, what are the plague's characteristics? Our medical database might have information that could help. As Dr. Vasquez described the plague, the Caltharian medical officer's expression grew more amazed. The humans had been dealing with a pathogen that attacked multiple organ systems simultaneously, yet they had managed to keep most of their population alive through innovative treatments and sheer determination. Captain, Dr. Vasquez continued, we've converted 12 cargo bays into medical facilities. We're manufacturing our own medications using equipment we built from ship components. We've trained ordinary colonists to become medical assistants. Everyone on this ship has a job in keeping us alive. The scans revealed the truth of her words. The Iron Phoenix was a marvel of adaptation and resourcefulness. The humans had taken a basic cargo hauler and turned it into a fully functional medical facility capable of treating tens of thousands of patients. They had created laboratories, surgical suites, and recovery wards from scratch. How many medical personnel do you have? Healer Nix 12 asked. Originally, we had 57 doctors and nurses when we evacuated, Dr. Vasquez replied. We've trained over 2,000 colonists in basic medical procedures. Everyone contributes to the medical effort in some way. Commander Chan added, we've organized the ship into neighborhoods. Each section has its own medical team, its own leaders, its own responsibilities. We're not just survivors, we're a community. The Caltharians were witnessing something unprecedented. The humans had not just survived their crisis, they had thrived. They had created a functioning society aboard their ship, with medical care, education, and even entertainment for their children. The thermal scans showed areas that had been converted into schools, playgrounds, and gathering spaces. Captain, Keth 7 said in amazement, I'm detecting what appears to be a manufacturing facility. They're not just maintaining their ship, they're improving it. They're making new components, better medical equipment, more efficient systems. The probe reached the Iron Phoenix and was carefully brought aboard. The humans examined the Caltharian medical supplies with wonder and gratitude. Dr. Vasquez's voice carried new hope as she reported her findings. Captain Zara 9, these supplies are incredible. The healing compounds could save hundreds of our critical patients. The diagnostic equipment is beyond anything we've seen. How can we ever thank you? Doctor, Zara 9 replied, we would like to offer more than supplies. Our medical teams could work with yours to find a cure for this plague. We have research facilities and experience with exotic pathogens. The offer led to an unprecedented collaboration. Caltharian medical officers beamed aboard the Iron Phoenix, wearing protective suits and carrying advanced equipment. What they found there changed their understanding of what sentient beings could accomplish when driven by compassion and determination. The human medical facilities were crewed by Caltharian standards, but they were incredibly effective. The humans had created treatments and procedures that worked despite being made from improvised materials. They had organized their medical response with military precision, yet maintained the compassion necessary for healing. Healer Nix 12 worked alongside Dr. Vasquez in the main medical bay. The human doctor showed her how they had modified standard equipment to treat plague symptoms, how they had trained non-medical personnel to assist with procedures, and how they had maintained morale among the patients through months of uncertainty. "Your people are remarkable," Nix 12 told Dr. Vasquez. "We've never seen such dedication to preserving life." "We don't see it as remarkable," Dr. Vasquez replied while checking on a patient. "We see it as necessary. These people trusted us to get them to safety. We couldn't let them down." The collaboration between the two species yielded results quickly. Caltharian medical technology, combined with human ingenuity, created new treatments that were more effective than either species could have developed alone. The plague began to retreat, and recovery rates improved dramatically. Commander Chun took Captain Zara 9 on a tour of the ship. She saw the neighborhoods the humans had created, the schools where children learned despite their circumstances, the workshops where colonists manufactured everything from clothing to medical equipment. The ship was a testament to human adaptability and community spirit. "How do you maintain order with so many people?" Zara 9 asked as they walked through a bustling corridor. "We don't maintain order," Chun replied. "We maintain purpose. Everyone knows their role in keeping us alive and moving forward. When people have a purpose, they don't need to be controlled." The captain saw families caring for each other, volunteers helping in the medical bays, engineers working on ship improvements, and teachers educating children. The Iron Phoenix was not just a refugee ship. It was a floating city united by shared purpose and mutual care. As the joint medical teams worked, they discovered that the plague was not just a disease. It was a biological weapon created by an enemy species that had attacked the human colony. The humans had been fighting not just illness, but an active war designed to destroy their civilization. They created a weapon meant to kill us all, Dr. Vasquez explained to the mixed medical team. Instead, it made us stronger. We learned to work together, to care for each other, to never give up hope. The cure came 3 weeks later. Caltharian medical technology provided the framework, but it was human determination that made it work. The treatment required constant care, precise timing, and unwavering dedication, qualities the humans had shown in abundance. Captain Zara 9 stood on the bridge of the Iron Phoenix as the last patients received their treatment. The ship was alive with celebration, but it was a quiet celebration. These people had learned to find joy in survival, hope in helping others, and strength in unity. "Captain," Commander Chun said, "we cannot thank you enough. You've given us back our future." "No," Zara 9 replied, "you've given us something more valuable. You've shown us what it means to never surrender, to care for others above yourself, and to find hope in the darkest circumstances. We will remember this lesson. Always." The two ships parted ways eventually, but the friendship forged in crisis would last forever. The Caltharians had learned that strength came not from advanced technology or peaceful intentions, but from the determination to protect and care for others no matter the cost. The Iron Phoenix continued its journey to resettle the colonists. But now it carried more than refugees. It carried the knowledge that compassion and determination could overcome any obstacle. The humans had faced extinction and responded with love, cooperation, and unwavering hope. In the end, the aliens had scanned a human ship, expecting to find warriors or traitors. Instead, they found heroes, ordinary people who had done extraordinary things simply because it was right. The revelation changed not just their understanding of humans, but their understanding of what it meant to be truly alive in the universe. Asterisk.